Hi, and welcome to today's reflection on hope in God's presence, where we will have some of our staff sit down and share what this means to them. We hope these words will inspire you as we continue on this Advent journey.
Hope in God's presence, to me, I think about our students. We have such a large and vibrant and diverse student body, and I think about hope in them as the future of the Catholic Church. My favorite part about being a part of this community is our Friday morning all-school Mass. And I get chills every Friday seeing that large student community, our parishioners there, and just seeing them pray together and receive the Eucharist together. I hope that they continue to grow in their faith, and I know they're going to continue the Catholic Church, and it's in good hands.
Whenever I think of hope, I'm automatically brought back to thinking about how my life was before I met God versus after. When I was young, when you've been through a lot at a really young age, finding that hope can be really, really difficult, especially if you aren't Christian. And even when I became Christian in other denominations, it wasn't quite, like, it was more than before, but I didn't quite have that hope. But after I received Jesus that first time, after that first confession, that first true reception of his body and blood, it was like night and day. In the midst of the pain and suffering in this world, God is present in it. He's walking alongside us. He's experiencing with us. He's living it with us. The fact that he's there, that he hasn't abandoned you in that. As long as he's with you, everything will be okay. That's what the hope in his presence means to me.
But for me, it's where our hope comes from, is who Christ is, and the time that we get to spend with him is what sends us forward, like, into the rest of our life. And that hope is what brings us peace and joy to face crazy things. I've had friends pass away before they were 22. I've lost family, all kinds of crazy things that have come my way. But because I had that daily holy hour and because I chose to go to daily Mass, I had this peace because my hope wasn't in my relationships or in people or in my job. It was in God. And I was able to recognize in the midst of, like, these really hard things that he was in control and that he works all things for good. And so sometimes that just means our salvation.
Hope in God's presence, I guess, ties into just my faith level. You know, as a disciple, as a follower of Christ, I do have faith in Christ, and I can go down rabbit holes. So, you know, one of the things that I struggle with sometimes, even when I'm preaching, is that I've had times in my life where I have felt the Spirit of God, and I draw on that. You know, even when I was a young adult, I felt God's presence. There was no other explanation that this was a God moment. And I've had conversations with people that basically, there's a book, Drinking from a Dry Well, where there are people that have never had that experience, right? So they draw from those who have. They draw from their memories. And so, you know, hope is just about drawing from those experiences and the faith that we have seen, the faith that we've experienced, and also the faith that we see in others and the saints.
Thank you for joining us today for these reflections on hope in God's presence. We hope these words have inspired you and you have a very blessed Advent season.